All right. Thank you, Kyle, for joining me today. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. So tell us about your film Bad Haircut and how you got the idea for it.
Yeah, so Bad Haircut is a thriller comedy, and the idea came from a barber that I had in college that's who Mick was based on. And so he was kind of the catalyst for this story about a college kid who goes to get his hair cut, that his friends drag him to this eccentric guy and um, trying to instill some confidence in him and get him a new look. And this guy's supposedly the best barber in town, and then it just kind of goes on this crazy wild ride from there.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you find the revelation that is Frankie Ray who plays the barber in this movie?
Well, it was kind of a tough search to try to find the right person because it was based on a real barber, and we knew what he looked like, sounded like, because we'd went my friend and several of my friends and I went there, and in one in particular, my friend Jesse Charles, who's a producer on the movie, he was ultimately the one that discovered Frankie Ray when we had, because Jesse had gone there with me, and we would get our haircuts there, and Jesse knew what we were going for and who this character was. And so when he came across his demo, he sent it to me and he's like, I think this guy could be our guy. Like, he's very similar voice, mannerisms, like just some characters he's played before. And so we had him audition, and then we felt like, yeah, this is the right move. So we brought him on board.
So the real barber did he do all those little like weird things like the boop on the nose and oh, it's time for tacos and calling people Brad Pitt and the weird.
Some of the stuff, yeah, like he would dance around to the music, he would bounce to the floor, he would whisper perfection into your ear and just get real close to your ear and just like have this kind of just I don't know, this weird personality like Mick has. And yeah, the taco thing really happened. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to think. The boop thing, that was all Frankie. That wasn't even in the script. That was just Frankie brought that to the character. And the Brad Pitt thing, that wasn't real. But the Hollywood thing, when he calls Sonny Hollywood, that was his nickname for Jesse, and so that was a real thing. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag of different things.
That's cool. And I think this entire cast is great. Can you talk about the casting process?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time auditioning different people, trying to find the right actors for these parts. And um, yeah, I mean, we were looking for people that were really, obviously, really good actors, but also had a very good innate sense of comedy and people that we thought were really funny. And so Spencer Harrison Levin was one that we just looked for so many different people and couldn't. It was so hard to find a person that embodied kind of the everyday man and was a really talented dramatic actor, but also was just really quick witted and funny. And Spencer just nailed that. And Bo Minier was another one who, on kind of the other end of the spectrum, needed someone that was just very, very cool, but not in like a try hard way. Like, you either are cool or you're not kind of thing, and he just is. And he's also extremely funny and different. He has a different sense, comedic sensibilities than Spencer. And RJ Bobrun is the same way. Like, he has an entirely different sense of humor, but the way that they would all interact with each other and just the way that they worked, it was just really cool. And we all found them very funny individually and thought, these guys, they look like they could be friends. And so it's kind of trying to not only individually figure out the pieces, but how can they work together, and will those pieces fit together? And then same with Nora, like the right girl for that role who can hang with the guys and feel like she's not just a damsel in distress, even though she's kind of in that position. How do we make her find the right person that feels like they're more than that and who can communicate so much with just her eyes? Um, so it was kind of a whole thing. And so before filming, we actually did a cast retreat with Spencer, Bo, RJ, and Nora because we wanted them to become friends before filming so that they would have a shorthand, have rapport, just feel like they were friends off screen before we ever put them together on screen. And so I think that really paid off because we were together for 5 days. It was like a high school experience of just staying up late and hanging out and having s'mores and just we were on the lake the whole time. And it was just a lot of fun. And we all really bonded. And so many of the jokes that happened during cast retreat carried over into the movie. They were not afraid of roasting each other or making fun of each other on camera. There was no, like, kind of all the barriers were down. So that was really beneficial. And that was all John Petro's idea, was to do the cast retreat, who is our other producer. And so that was really special that we did that.
I agree. I think that did really pay off for the chemistry with the cast. So what were the challenges of making this movie?
I mean, everything was a challenge. Every step of the way, it's like getting the money to make the movie is a challenge, and then pre-production, like trying to cast the right people, is a challenge. And then when you think you find the right people, but things don't work out, or the schedules don't work, or this is whatever. Like, there's just so many caveats to things, and then building the sets and trying to just manage all these people. And we're doing it on a small scale, but we're trying to make it look like a Hollywood movie, and so that comes with. It just came with extra pressure, because normally on a movie of this size, you're not building sets, you're shooting on location, you're just doing things with favors and for free. And we did have a lot of favors, but we did build all of the sets that are interior sets, aside from the party house. That was a real house. But again, we had an extreme favor with them. Like, we shut down that house for 5 days, but 3 full nights of filming. And it was really cool. But we had control in a way that we wouldn't have had otherwise without sets, just controlling lighting and shots and the look of everything. But with that, it came challenges of like, well, we have to build this stuff. We need a space to build it. We need a team to build it. We've got to have so many resources to be able to put this together. And so that was challenging. Production was extremely challenging. I mean, you got so many different personalities you're dealing with, trying to manage people. And it's really just myself, John Petro, and Jesse Charles trying to manage all of these people. And it was tough, but we got through it. And it was a longer shoot. I mean, it was almost 6 weeks of filming, which for an indie movie is a long time. But it was really great, but also challenging. So, and then post-production, like every step just has challenges, but you always try to find a way to just make it happen and get through it and do it to the best of your ability, because you want to put together something that's quality and that you believe in and that you really love. So we did our best to never cut corners, and our motto is always, we can never compromise. Let's always find a way to make happen what we want to make happen. So yeah, that's kind of the. I mean, I have a ton of stories. Like, yeah. There's a lot of challenges.
Well, you guys did it, man. You did it. I think Bad Haircut is truly an amazing indie horror comedy. One of my favorites. Could you feel it was going to turn out that way while you were making it?
We always believed that, but I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I guess I know there were times at the beginning of the shoot when John and Jesse would come and be like, "Is this gonna work? Like, or is this bombing? Like, we can't tell. Like, this is, And to be fair, it's like, yeah, it's hard to tell, because we're navigating all these things and trying to figure out dialing in characters and stuff. And I was just trying to keep track of when we got a good line, a good take, like a piece of a good take, and then keep track mentally. Okay, now I know we have this part good, but we need this part good. And then eventually it's like you find a rhythm and things start to click. But I feel like the kind of the aha moment of like, I think John and I felt like we had something special. And when Jesse saw it, I think he felt the same, was when we saw the dailies, when we were going through after filming, we'd go through and watch all these takes. And we're like, man, like this feels really special. Like these performances are really great. Like there's some really good moments. And then especially after we saw the initial rough cut that Ben Mills, our editor, put together, it was very rough, but you could see like, okay, there's something special. And it was at that point that we decided, okay, we need to go all in on post-production and really like, let's try to up the ante in every way that we can possibly afford to do. I mean, we couldn't afford it. We pushed for it anyway and did it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever really know, like from the beginning, it's like, yeah, even from the script, it's like, I believe this was going to be something really funny and suspenseful and fun, but it's all in the execution. And I think the actors play a huge part of it. Our team played a huge part. Like the way it looks, people don't think about it, but like Reed Petro, our cinematographer, was amazing. He made it look so much bigger and more expensive than it really was. Don Chase, our production designer, I mean, he built the sets and designed all that stuff and made it look like lived in and real. Like that barbershop's not a real place. It's in a warehouse that we put it together. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It was I think I think it's like the more time goes on, you start to feel like this is something special, and especially after our first film festival screenings, people really responded well, and the reviews were really positive, and people seemed to really like it. So then it gave us more like, oh wow, like we're not the only ones that think this is cool. It feels like there's other people, and then the more festivals we've done, we felt like okay, this is like now we really feel like this is something really special that is hopefully gonna do well and people will see it and like it, and hopefully more opportunities come from it.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just at the Newport Beach Film Festival recently. How did that premiere go?
It was cool. Yeah. I mean, Fantastic Fest was our first one, and that was really like a huge, it was really cool to be there because we had two screenings and it was just packed and we were there for 10 days. And so it felt like the really full experience. Newport was great. We were only there for 4 days and we did one showing, but it was sold out and it was really, really fun and, great feedback and stuff. But yeah, it's been a wild ride with these festivals. We went to Germany right after that for the Hof International Film Festival, and that was really amazing to watch it with German audiences. And we were worried, how are they going to respond to the humor? Like, are they going to get it or like it? And they loved it. Like it really clicked with them outside of a couple of the just very American jokes that they didn't understand. Just pop culture, like kind of like niche kind of jokes, but the majority of the comedy, like people were laughing out loud and we had a huge like applause at the end of the screenings. And it was just really special to see that. And we had a lot of people come up to us afterwards telling us how funny they thought it was and how much it resonated with them on even a deeper level than comedy, which was cool to hear. So yeah, it's always fun to hear that and see those reactions because that's why you make a movie.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see this movie with the audience.
Yeah,
It's just a great movie to see with other people.
definitely.
So this movie is so off the wall original, but was there anything you wanted in the movie but just couldn't make it in?
No, I mean, I think what we set out to do, we did. Like, we knew we were going to be pretty contained, and we knew the constraints of what we were working within. But I think we always, at least I always looked at Disturbia as a reference point for me, just tonally. I loved that movie growing up. And I still love that movie, and I just love how they blended this suspenseful thriller with situational humor and this romance thread. It just for me as a teenager, it's like that's such a quintessential awesome movie, and I wanted to do something that, like, for our generation, like what Disturbia did. I wanted Bad Haircut to be something that could be for this generation, where it's like this is the movie that friends come over to watch on the weekends. It's the movie you're quoting at school. It's the poster you have hanging on your bedroom wall. It's just like in a perfect world, it's like it'd be so cool to have a movie that's a piece of pop culture in that way, where teens and young adults just find it funny and it rewatchable.
I think it will be once the audiences get a chance to see it. I think it's got a great shot to do that.
Thank you.
Um, Welcome. What other movies influenced you?
Um, for Bad Haircut or just generally?
Just generally.
Well, I think like I said, Disturbia for Bad Haircut was my main influence for tone, and then like there's an element of a Silence of the Lambs kind of thing with just the general kidnapping and like psychopathic kind of character. But generally, like my influences, I list my top five favorite movies as Rocky Four, The Goonies, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and Forrest Gump. And then I put Matilda and Dumb and Dumber up there, Armageddon. I love those movies as well. Top Gun. So I'm very much like an 80s and 90s movie person. I see you have a Back to the Future poster right behind you. I have one big poster right here, Back to the Future, on my wall. And I have Top Gun and Goonies and Rambo and Rocky and all that stuff. So it's like those are kind of my favorites, and that's generally what I gravitate towards. Is very much like the Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, Michael Bay. Yeah, I love that kind of. And Tom Cruise is like one of my favorites. So I like all his movies. I pretty much love. So yeah,
Yeah. I think the main character Billy's journey, it's very similar to a 80s or 90s movie. Yeah, that classic. While you were at the Newport Beach Film Festival, did you get to meet Dolph Lundgren there?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize he was there.
Oh man, I got to interview him. It
Wow,
was yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I have a Rocky Four poster right there. It's my favorite movie, so that's pretty cool.
yeah. You got to see his documentary when you get a chance. It's a great
Okay, yeah,
documentary. Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so what's next for the film? Is it more festivals or?
Yeah, there's a couple more festivals that we're playing in this year, and then yeah, we're just in the process of distribution. So working to get a deal, and it'll come out sometime next year. We're just not sure when or where or how yet, but that's kind of the path that we're on right now. We have a sales agent, and they've been for the last few months shopping it around and just trying to get the best deal for us. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I really hope it gets a wide theatrical
Me
release.
too.
Yeah, I know it's tough with indie movies. You never really know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's our dream. That's what we're really pushing for.
yeah, yeah. And I could see, yeah, I could see it getting nominated for awards, and I would love to see it on a show like I love Joe Bob Briggs, so that the Last Drive-In. I would love to see it on a show like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I hope it finds a good home and that it can have some sort of big release because yeah, I mean we just want everyone to see it obviously and it honestly like playing it in theaters has been the best thing for us with these festivals because it just hits so much differently when you hear other people laughing and applauding at the climax and it's like there's so much energy to it. So even now it's like when we did test screenings or when we're trying to do screenings for industry people, it's really important to us as much as we can to try to do those in a theater setting with an audience versus just sending a private screener because it is like just this electric thing that happens when I mean at all these screenings people will laugh at various parts and it just like it elevates the experience of it. It's just a lot more fun.
Yeah, definitely. Has your barber seen the movie yet?
My real barber? No, no, no.
Yeah.
I haven't been to him in years, so he's not aware that this movie exists.
Oh man, I would love to see his reaction to this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm curious. It'll happen probably eventually. He'll see it and wonder, is this about me? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I told my barber about it the other day. He really wants to see this movie. So.
That's awesome. Very cool.
um, yeah. So is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Not really. I mean, I'm just thankful for being on the show, and it's cool to chat about the movie, and I hope people will check it out. They can follow the movie's Instagram page. It's just at Bad Haircut the Movie. They put updates on there and kind of keep people informed on what festivals it's playing at next and eventually where it will be released. And there's some behind the scenes things on there and just some cool stuff. So yeah, that'll be if people want to know when it's going to come out. If they follow that, that'll keep them informed.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope everybody sees this movie. Like I said, absolutely loved it. Blown away by how the horror comedy mix and the originality of it all. Just great, man.
Thank you. That means a lot that you liked it. So it's really cool to chat with you about it.
It was a pleasure, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And come back with your next projects too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
All right. Thanks,
Cool.
Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Take care.
All right. You too.
All right. Yep. Bye.